can't give commentary. Hello and welcome to the campus of Mount St. Mary's in Emmitsburg, Maryland, where we've got the Fans' Choice South Penn Game of the Week. We let you, the fans, pick where we go a couple times a year, and this is one of them. You guys selected the battle between the defending champs, the Hagerstown Braves, and the Frederick Flying Dogs. This is George Marinos bringing you all the live action of South Penn League baseball here for Flea Flicker Media, and we're so glad that you for you. Hagerstown coming in holding the number 3 spot in the league. They're 9-4. And Frederick battling on the playoff cut line, the number 8 spot. They come in with a record of 6-10-1. So an important game for both teams. Definitely a big one for Frederick as they try to stay above the cut line. The Biglerville Black Sox and the Emmitsburg Stars right behind them. So, team's about ready to take the field here at E.T. Straw Family. Here they got a baseball team as well, and they play here at lovely today. We'll have the lineups and the defensive alignment here in a moment for you as the last little bit of warm-ups taking place here. Some Hagerstown players warming up here on the left-hand side, and Frederick getting ready to break the team huddle. Offense, and he'll be anchoring things at the hot. And the first baseman is hope I said that right. Bergwall, his second appearance of the season. His ERA is 1.17. Jarek Savlarski will be rounding out the order. This one popped up down the third base line towards our broadcast location. That one's going to touch down still in the field of play for strike number 1. Here on this late afternoon, early evening from Mount St. Mary's. As Bergwall is ready to go with pitch number 2 to Ryan Talbert, the shortstop for Hagerstown. This one is hit in the air to left field. This is going to touch down foul in the bullpen area. And 2 strikes quickly via foul balls for Bergwall to start things off here. For Talbert on the season, he's hitting .364. Takes that one down low, 1 ball and 2 strikes to gain back a modicum of count leverage. 1 extra base hit for him and 6 runs batted in on the season for Talbert, who missed most of the playoffs last year. This one hit hard on the ground, back up the middle, and it'll be a leadoff single for the Hagerstown Braves as they get things started off with a bang here in the very first inning. Good to see Justin Lewis back in the lineup here for Hagerstown today, as the second baseman batting in his customary number 2 spot here for the Braves. First right-handed batter, he'll stand in there, and we'll see if the sacrifice is on for Lewis. Lewis is hitting .300 on the year, 6 for 20, 3 doubles for him. No runs batted in yet as this one bounces in the dirt. No advancement from the runner at first, Talbert. This is our Fans' Choice game. You, the fans, voted for Hagerstown versus Frederick as our matchup of choice this week. And it's a good thing, too, because the other 2 matchups that were on the docket rained out. This one, a bunt. It's going to stick in the grass. Copas to field it. He's going to throw back behind the runner at second base is the only play he has, and Talbert is in there safely. So a bunt single for Lewis, and the first 2 on via hits for the Hagerstown Braves. Well, this is an offense that can put them up with the best of them, and if you're Bergwall and Frederick, you don't want to get behind here early. Now you're getting down to the meat of the order with Adam Mathias, the center fielder, standing in there. Usually a whole host of lefties on the docket for Hagerstown, and Mathias one of those. This one misses in the dirt and is blocked. 1 ball and no strikes, no advancement from the runners. Mathias had 8 home runs in all competitions last year for Hagerstown. 5 of them in regular season league play, and a couple more in the postseason. The 1-0 pitch, that one called a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Let us know back home in the comment section if we're having any audio or video difficulties back home. We certainly hope not. As here's the kick and the toss from Bergwall. This one a called strike, catches the outside corner. Mathias a shrug of the shoulders. We'll have to accept a 2-1 count here now. As the guys in the dugout used to say back when I was in high school, now you've seen it. Now he's got a chance to swing at it. The kick and the toss. Mathias drives this one deep to center field, racing back. This one's gonna bounce up against the wall. Look at the runners chasing each other home. Talbert and Lewis gonna score one right after the other, and it's a 2-run double for Adam Mathias to kick the scoring off here. In this one, the Hagerstown Braves pouncing on Frederick in the very first inning. And it's Mathias, one of their most accomplished hitters, gashing one deep to center field. And the Braves are starting with a crooked number here in the first inning. They'll look to make it a real crooked number as they get further down into the batting order now. It's Cam Bailey playing first base today for Hagerstown, number 33. And he'll try to move Mathias along. Still nobody out. This one catches the outside corner for a strike. No balls and 1 strike, the count to Cam Bailey. Bailey's hitting .429 on the season. He has 1 double among his hits. Misses in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike, and Mathias will hold steady at second base there as the catcher Augie Bennett blocking that one down. Well, dream start for Hagerstown, and if you're Frederick, you want to wake up from what's starting out as the makings of a very bad dream here in the first inning, as that is a foul ball back to the screen, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, our fans' choice options today. This one was the one the fans chose. In second place was Littlestown at Hanover. That game rained out. Brushtown at Cashtown, not sure whether that one rained out, but Gettysburg was getting pounded with rain earlier today, and there's more on the way. No turf field up there, so you figure it's going to be tough for them to fit that one in. This one popped up on the right side. Looking it over is Kurt Moore. He hauls it in just in foul territory. And Bergwall has a calming first out here in the top of the first inning. 3 straight hits to start the ball game, and now a pop out into foul territory. Bergwall and 3 batters gave up more runs than he had all season coming into this game. He only had 6 innings, but only 1 run allowed during those 6 innings. This one misses and is a ball to Ethan Ford, the number 5 hitter for Hagerstown. Ford hitting .421 on the season. No extra base hits yet, but 4 runs batted in. This one chopped on the ground. Shortstop going to field it up and pumping and throwing to first. It's wide. Mathias is going to come around third and score. It'll be the 3rd Hagerstown run of the game. Trickling off into foul is the ball. And up to second goes Ethan Ford. And Hagerstown now leads it 3-0. So it'll be interesting to see how they score that one. We'll get the scoring from the game changer out between innings, assuming one of these teams is keeping that up for this game. Would think it would be an error due to the double clutch by the shortstop. The runner was going to beat it out at first base once the throw was made, but this one chopped on the ground. It's going to be picked up by Moore. Pitch to Bergwall covering. Out number 2. He'll run it into the diamond and keep Ford from coming home. Up to third now with 2 outs is the Hagerstown catcher. Seventh man to bat in the inning for Hagerstown will be Riley Jackson. And as we said in our open, you'll remember him from the championship series last year when he had 4 hits and 11 plate appearances. Led the team in RBIs with 5 during the 4-game championship series win over Littlestown. Hagerstown in back-to-back championships. They're looking for a three-peat this year. First things first, they got to take care of the Frederick Flying Dogs and the rest of their regular season schedule. This one misses down low to Jackson. Jackson hitting .267 on the year coming in. A mere mortal start for him here. Chance to pick up a 2-out RBI as that one misses down low, 2 balls and no strikes. A soft wind rippling through the ballpark here at Mount St. Mary's. As the designated hitter for Hagerstown stands in, he chops this one foul down the third base line. That one's going to hit off of the fence and roll down the line there before it has to be retrieved. So Jackson back to work here now with a 2-1 count. It's now 3-1. Bergwall misses high with that one. Does have a base open over at first, if he chooses to go that way. Chance Phillips, the speedy right fielder, is next for Hagerstown. Jackson's going to send this one skyward towards the middle of the diamond. Calling everyone off is the shortstop. Putting that one away is John Blanco. It's a 3-run top of the first for the Hagerstown Braves. They lead it 3-0. Frederick coming to bat on the other side of this commercial break here on Flea Flicker Media.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Back to action here in the bottom of the first inning. We'll take a look at the Hagerstown Braves defensive alignment. It goes like this. Over at third base for the Braves is Jarek Saflarski. The shortstop for Hagerstown, Ryan Talbert. At second base is Justin Lewis. And over at first base is Cam Bailey. The outfield from right to left. Over in right field is Chance Phillips. In center is Adam Mathias. And over in left field for the Braves, that's Caden Smith. Taking a look at the battery here for Hagerstown, behind the plate is Ethan Ford. And on the mound, Wyatt Freeman. Once again, it seems like every time we do a Hagerstown game, we get Wyatt Freeman on the hill. So we'll take a look at his statistics for the season for Freeman. He's pitched in 4 games, 3 starts, 17 innings, 1 win and 1 loss, and a 2.88 earned run average. His whip is 1.29, 28 strikeouts, 7 walks, 15 hits allowed for him. And Frederick up to bat here now, as this one fouled off by Nathan Kessler. So the Flying Dogs will look to respond to the 3 spot that Hagerstown put up in the top of the first inning. This one popped up as well. That one also going to leave the playing surface for Kessler. Kessler hitting a .556 on the year, 10 for 18. Not often you see a guy this deep into the season with a batting average in the 500s. Lines this one to second. Justin Lewis there for the catch. 3 pitches and 1 out for Wyatt Freeman. We'll take a look at this batting lineup for the Frederick Flying Dogs. It's Nathan Kessler, the second baseman. Dougie Sims, the left fielder, bats second. Kevin Kopas, the third baseman, batting third. John Blanco, the shortstop, bats cleanup. Kurt Moore, the first baseman, bats fifth. Augie Bennett, the catcher, batting sixth. Matt DiGirolamo, the right fielder, batting seventh. The center fielder, Anthony Venable, batting eighth, and DH Ryan Shriver rounding out the order, as Dougie Sims takes strike number one from Freeman. 4 pitches, filling up the zone here to begin this one. That one also a called strike, belt high on the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to Sims. Slide step from Freeman. This one hit in the air to left field. That's going to get down for a single. Sims will pull up anchor at first there, rounding the bag hard and going back, and much needed hit for him as he came in with a 243 average on the year, looking to raise that. Normally hits in the high 300s or the low 400s. So a 1-out base runner for Frederick. Freeman will go back to work here now against the number 3 spot in the order. That's Kevin Kopas. Here's the kick and the toss. This one tails outside. 1 ball and no strikes the count to Kopas, who's playing third base once again here for the Frederick Flying Dogs, his customary position. Freeman to check of the runner, Sims. Edging off a little bit over there at first. Here's the pitch. This one floats up to the plate and is a little bit wide. 2 balls and no strikes now the count. Kopas is 12 for 37 on the year, good for a .324 batting average. One of the more powerful hitters in this Frederick lineup swings and misses, and the count goes to 2-1. Well, he keyholed a pitch there and picked something to his liking and really went after it. But Freeman able to get it by him and get back into the count. Sims is taking off at first. This pitch high and inside the throw, and Sims is headed back to first base now as the ball beats him to second by a large margin, and he knew it was going to, so he stopped and went back to first. He did it quickly enough that he's able to get back, and very fortunate not to end up in a rundown there. When you make the decision that quickly, I guess, sometimes it can work out for you to get back. Must not have liked his lead, his jump, or something there. He'll take another try at it here, and we'll see if he goes again. Not this time. Kopas skies one to the third base side. Into foul territory. It's going to be caught there by Savlarski. And that's the second out of the inning. Sims will have to return to first base on the foul ball out. We're able to bring you a nice handheld look of that ball being caught foul territory here down the left field line, and we hope you enjoyed that as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. John Blanco to the plate. 14 for 28 on the season, excuse me. Doesn't take a math whiz to figure out that that's a .500 batting average right on the nose. He'll look to move over that mark with another base hit here. Dougie Sims still at first after his 1-out single. This one is hit in the air to center. Gauging it up and backpedaling on it is Matthias, and he's got it. Several steps in front of the warning track. So a scoreless inning for the Hagerstown Braves. Wyatt Freeman will head to the second inning. Braves 3, Frederick Flying Dogs nothing. Back in a moment.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home.
you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Top of the second inning set to commence here from Mount St. Mary's. It's Bergwell back on the hill for Frederick, and he'll face Chance Phillips to start things off here in the top of the second for Hagerstown. Number 8 spot in the order, then 9, Jarek Saflarski, and then back to the top of the order with leadoff man Ryan Talbert. It's Phillips looking to get things started here for the Braves once again. Here's the kick and the toss. This one called a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hagerstown's right fielder. Phillips' 10th at bat of the season, and he drives this one to center. That's going to get down in front of the center fielder for a base hit. He's now batting an even .400 on the year, 4 for 10. And Hagerstown now has 4 hits unofficially in this ball game. Didn't get a chance to check the official ruling on that Ethan Ford ground ball between innings, but we sure will when we get a chance here. Jarek Saflarski is the batter now. Rounding out the order and playing third base. This one misses down low. Saflarski, a new addition to... Well, he's not a new addition to the lineup, but this is his first game of the year. Chopped on the ground. Shortstop ranging over to get it. Throw to second for 1. Throw back to first. They got him. Rack him up. Double play. 6-4-3. The Frederick Flying Dogs go around the horn and get 2 quick outs for their starter, Bergwall. What a job right there, guys. That's something to be proud of. As we'll take a look at that one on replay if we get a chance here. Ryan Talbert standing in there in the batter's box, and unfortunately we were unable to catch most of that one. Here's the pitch to Talbert, misses head high, 1 ball and no strikes, the count. Didn't trigger the replay fast enough there. We only have a certain amount of time on our replays here. My fault. There's the kick and the toss from Bergwall. That one misses down low, 2 balls and no strikes to Talbert. Talbert hit a ringing single to center field his first time up. Came around to score the game's first run on the double by Adam Mathias. Talbert behind that one in the count now 2-1. After Talbert, it'll be Justin Lewis and then Adam Mathias as they hope to hit here in the second inning. Talbert's got to reach for that to happen. Called strike, and the count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the second inning. It's Bergwall. The pitch, that one misses down low. Talbert thought about it, but held up, and the count runs full. Bergwall back to his lofty perch above the mound here as he looks to get not a 3-up, 3-down inning, but a facing the minimum inning where he gets all 3 outs within 3 batters. The double play surely helped. Talbert chops this one on the ground down the first base line. That one's going to go foul before it's snapped up by Kurt Moore, the player manager. This one fouled off, and he'll stay alive again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. One more time, as it's 7 pitches so far in this at-bat. He'll see an 8th. Talbert had an injury, missed much of the second half last year, came back in time for the championship series. As this one misses head high, ball 4, and he earns an 8-pitch walk. He'll discard what he doesn't need and head down to first base. As a 2-out base runner here for the Hagerstown Braves. So looking to get things kicked off here. They got the first guy on with a single. That was Phillips. He was doubled off on the grounder. Lewis now looking to move Talbert along. Is that one a called strike? Lewis, a perfectly placed bunt single his first time up that stuck in the grass down the third base line and checked up before the third baseman could field it. He picked it up but had no throw at first. His only hope was to try to backpick Talbert at second. Checks it up with the count, no balls and 2 strikes now. Bergwall 1 pitch away from putting up a 0 here in the second, getting his team back in the dugout. Very important game for Frederick. As there goes the runner for second. Talbert was off with the pitch. Lewis had to swing because it was close on 2 strikes. Tips it back to the screen, and you wonder how that would have played out there. I think Talbert had a pretty good jump, so would have been difficult for Bennett. Would have had to have been perfect with his pop time on that one. Lewis waggling the bat above his shoulder. Pops this one up. That one's going to head into foul territory. Lewis looking to make it 2 for 2 here today. Still no balls and 2 strikes to count. Talbert not going this time. The ball gets through Bennett, and Talbert will have an easy time moving up to second here now, as he's in scoring position here with 2 down. Bergwall will now have to deal with that for the first time here in the second inning. Only Hagerstown game we've covered on Flea Flicker Media this year before today was up at Cashtown a couple weeks ago, and Lewis not in the lineup for that one, but he's back in here today, and he's a key veteran cog in this championship window for Hagerstown. Here's the kick and the toss. That one misses outside. Good eye from Lewis, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Bergwall to the belt. Lifts the leg. The throw. This one clavicle high, and the count runs full. Boy, has been so close to getting out of this inning a couple of times now. A pair of hitters that he got ahead of 0-2. Actually, he got behind Talbert 2-0, but got back to 2-2. Now he walks Lewis, and that will put 2 on. A pair of 2-out walks here now. Both counts ran full. Talbert up at second, and Lewis over to first. Bergwall shaking out the arm as he heads back to the mound here now. Just reaching the bottom of the hour here, 6:30. And now Bergwall walking around the mound here, and the umpires are going to gather, so not sure what they're going to discuss here. A nice talk with the crew before the game today, and they're on top of things here, so.
Somebody said the ball was still in play.
It did look like on that ball 4, the ball bounced off the catcher and rolled up the first base line, and then becomes an issue of whether or not people called timeout, and I didn't see Talbert take third, but I'm not sure. Other than unless it was an issue of a balk, and Bergwall didn't engage with the rubber at all here. Talbert didn't move up to third. They're not awarding him third, so whatever they were talking about, they decided that it wasn't going to affect the game at all. Adam Mathias has already affected the game in a big way. His 2-run double over the center fielder's head opened the scoring in this one, and he looks for another similar performance here. Here's the kick and the toss. Mathias pops this one up down the third baseline. Racing for it is Kopas. That one's going to hit down on the tarp. It stayed in the field of play, but well into foul territory. Nobody able to get there. Had nobody doing a Bill Mueller on opening day a few years ago. I remember when he scaled the tarp at Wrigley Field and tore up his knee and was out for the season. So, that's a good thing. Hey, it worked out for Bill Mueller. He ended up becoming an American League batting champion and a World Series champion with the Boston Red Sox a couple of years later. Adam Mathias' brother Andrew was the South Penn League Championship Series MVP 2 years ago. This one misses, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. For Mathias, he came into this one with a batting average of .259. That's on the rise. Check of the runners. Bergwall's pitch. This one a called strike at the knees, and the count goes to 1-2. Talbert at second. Lewis at first. 2 outs as Hagerstown looks for some insurance. Mathias just chips that one foul. Looked like something off speed or breaking, and quite a bit out in front of that one. Bergwall, a good pitch there, and that's frustrating as a pitcher when you got a really good hitter up there and he can get a piece of it to stay alive. Let's see if he tries to snap off another one here. Talbert marking off his lead at second. Flying Dogs paying him no mind out there. Not holding Lewis on at first either. Here's the kick and the toss. Oh, he threw the same pitch, and Mathias able to check up on this one. Is this one a little bit down lower? Excellent battle going on here from the center fielder for Hagerstown. Got some professional ball games under his belt, does Mathias. This one misses down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes now the count. As another full count, third one in a row, and Bergwall really running up the pitch count here in the second inning on our Thursday night Fans Choice game. The 3-2 pitch, Mathias lashes this one into the outfield. That's in the gap. At least one's going to score. Here comes Lewis. He's going to hold at third. Talbert in to score, and it's 4-0, and a 3-piece in the RBI column for Mathias. As Hagerstown adding on, and that's what the good teams do. They don't settle for that nice little run package they got in the first inning. Cam Bailey, the batter here now for Hagerstown, and he picks up men on the corners with 2 outs. Hagerstown up 4-0 now, and that one fouled off. First hit of the inning for Hagerstown belonged to Mathias there, that single. He's marking a lead off at first, staying put there. This one held up on and apparently just missed a little lower, a little outside, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Forward reached on what we think was a fielding error by the shortstop back in the first inning. We'll have to check. Oh, that one almost hit him. I thought it did hit him, but apparently not, as he backs away from that one. A little too close for comfort there for Bailey. He jumps ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike now. Umpire getting back into position to officiate, putting his mask back on. Bailey steps into the box, and Bergwall back onto the rubber. Lewis the lead from third. Here's the pitch, down and outside, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. To the cleanup hitter for Hagerstown. Bailey, 1 extra base hit on the season. It was a double. Key staple of last year's championship team. Here's the pitch. This one popped up. That one's headed over towards our location. Gonna touch down foul and head for the road, but it hangs up right there. Full count pitch. Bailey is going to sky this one. Racing after it is Bennett. And he runs out of room as that one clatters against the Frederick Flying Dogs dugout over there. Well, if you're Frederick, it's paramount to avoid any more damage here in the top of the second. Lewis at third with his walk, Mathias at first with his RBI single as the wind rustling up and blowing out towards left field. So now as good a time as any for Bailey to get one in the air. Kick in the toss. This one called strike 3, and Bergwall gets out of the inning. 1 scores for Hagerstown. They do it on 1 hit. No errors. A pair of walks, 2 men left. At the end of an inning and a half, it's the Hagerstown Braves leading the Frederick Flying Dogs 4-0 here on Flea Flicker Media. Back in a moment with more Thursday Night Baseball.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is that Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Back here to the ballpark, it's the bottom of the 2nd inning, ready to go as Frederick comes to bat for a 2nd time. It's Kurt Moore leading things off. Player manager playing first base today for Frederick, and he'll look to get the Flying Dogs kick-started here in the 2nd inning. Wyatt Freeman's pitch, this one is driven to left field, going. That one's off the top of the wall, bounces back into play. Moore is going to race hard to second. He's going to stop there as the play is right in front of him. And a leadoff double for Moore here to start the bottom of the 2nd. Boy, I thought that one was going to get out of here, and I think the left fielder for Hagerstown did too, as he was backtracking on that one. As Caden Smith was just hesitantly going back there like he thought either it was going to hit off the wall or get out of play, and it did just that. It hit off the wall and rocketed back past him. Able to pounce on it quickly enough to keep Moore from getting to third, but leadoff double here for the Flying Dogs. And they'll put Freeman in the hot seat here early on. Augie Bennett is the batter now, as this one misses to him. 1 ball and no strikes to Bennett. Wearing number 2 and playing the number 2 position, catching for Frederick. His first plate appearance here today. This one just low. Very good looking pitch, but dipped just below the zone, and the count 2 balls and no strikes now. Bennett came into this game hitting .340, 17 for 50. Part of a robust offense for the Frederick Flying Dogs. I think he chased ball 3 there, went up around the letters, and the count now 2-1 as Freeman back into things here a little bit. Freeman to the belt. The check of Moore. Here's the pitch. This one driven to right field. A lazy fly ball. Phillips circling. He's got that one. Moore is going to tag and go to third, and he'll be there easily as the throw cut off from Phillips. So a productive out for Bennett, and Frederick has a runner at third now with less than 2 outs as they look to break the seal on scoring here in this one. 3 in the first for Hagerstown, 1 more in the 2nd. Frederick looking to put up their first tally as Matt DiGirolamo, the right fielder, is the batter. Picture perfect strike from Freeman. I'd like to give a shout out to Jessica Croghan tuning in here on the broadcast. Little Sound Dodgers rained out today, so glad you're tuning in here. This one chopped foul. 0-2 the count. Well, that double out there, that leadoff double from Moore, you don't want to leave that stranded. And DiGirolamo looking for his 2nd RBI of the year. Freeman's kick and pitch. DiGirolamo coming out of his shoes to swing at that one and fouls it off to stay alive. If you're going to swing at it, you got to hit it with 2 strikes. And he does. I think the Bee Gees wrote a song about that once upon a time. DiGirolamo hits this one on the ground to third, about the only place in the infield that he could hit it that wouldn't get the run home. Check of the runner, Moore will hold at third, and throwing across to first base for the out is Zaflarski. Good play by Jarek Zaflarski to save Wyatt Freeman a run there. And Freeman, an excellent pitch to get the weak contact. So now Moore still out there in scoring position with 2 down. Anthony Venable, the center fielder, bats now for Frederick. Taking his first hacks here today out of the number 8 spot in the order. 1 ball and no strikes from Freeman as Moore takes his lead from third. Check swing. They're going to check with the base umpire here, I think. And he says no swing. Kurt Moore clapping his hands in approval. That's his player that he manages at the plate there. Getting ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. That one misses as well. 3 balls and no strikes. And the more base runners, the merrier for Frederick here. Freeman comes set. The kick and the toss. This one, a called strike. Probably taking all the way was Venable. That bat didn't move very far from his shoulder at all on that one. The 3-1 pitch coming from Freeman. Delivers. Hit on the ground. Freeman's going to knock it down. Running it over to first. Underhand toss, and he's got him. Through 2 innings. It's the Hagerstown Braves 4 and the Frederick Flying Dogs nothing here on Flea Flicker Media's Fan Choice Game.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Four 0 Hagerstown Braves as they bat here in the top of the 3rd inning from Emmitsburg, Maryland. Leading things off here will be Ethan Ford, the number 5 hitter, and he swings and misses at that one. Ford's ground ball back in the 1st inning was ruled an error. 1 error on the board for the Frederick Flying Dogs. Boy, good plate discipline there to hold back on that one. Bergwald's strategy is try to get ahead of guys and then spin some breaking balls that dip down below the strike zone. And Hagerstown swung at a few of them, but they've held off on a lot of them. There's a dart for the bottom lower 3rd of the zone, and that one fouled off over the dugout. Hagerstown coming back for more on offense here. 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Here's the kick and the throw from Bergwald. Boxed by the catcher and probably cost him the call there. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Hagerstown. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Frederick Flying Dogs. As this one chopped foul and they stay alive in the count. Check swing, didn't mean to, but he did enough to stay alive and fouls this one off down towards the first base dugout. Not sure if it almost picked off one of the Frederick players over there. Bergwall's wind up the pitch. That one misses down low. Running another deep count here. This one is hammered to right field. Going back on it and making the catch is Matt DiGirolamo as he hauls that one in before the Battlefield Auto sign out there in right field. There's a sponsor whose name we can say. And a long, loud first out here as Ethan Ford tested the opposite way on that one, and that ball just didn't go anywhere once it got in the air. Caden Smith now batting. 0 for 1. Riley Jackson next, and then Chance Phillips if things get that far. This one cued down the third base line. I think did that stick in the fence down there? There's something stuck in the fence down there. That ball's stuck in the fence. How about that? Well, cross that one off on your baseball bingo card for the day. Chopper to first. Moore stays down on it. He'll race to the bag and beat Smith for out number 2. And Bergwall once again has the first 2 outs here in an inning. We'll see if he can close the door this time. He'll have to go through a very tough hitter in Riley Jackson. Jackson also 0 for 1 on the day. Bends that one over, no balls and 1 strike. Not sure when or where we'll be in the South Penn League with the game next week. There's a Monday game. Littlestown that looks awfully enticing. As that one misses 1 ball and 1 strike. The kick and the throw from Bergwall and a swing and a miss from Jackson. 1 and 2 now and 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. If you'll remember, Cashtown and Hagerstown did battle in that epic championship or semifinal series that went the distance last summer, with Littlestown winning in 5 games. Jackson sends this one skyward. Racing out from the crouch is Bennett. He doesn't know where it is, but Moore calls him off, and he's got it right in front of the railing of his own dugout. 3 up, 3 down for Bergwall. Just what the doctor ordered for the Flying Dogs. We soldier on into the middle innings here on Flea Flicker Media. Hagerstown 4, Frederick nothing.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Bottom of the third set to get underway. It's Wyatt Freeman on the hill, pitching a shutout so far here for Hagerstown, and if he gives up a run this inning, everybody's going to get the pitchforks out and come for me, so we might flip the camera around and show that, because it might be entertaining. That one misses inside, 1 ball and no strikes. That one catches the inside corner that he was desperately going for on the first pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Number 9 hitter Ryan Shriver. That's easy enough. He wears number 9. Swings and misses at that one, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. The lighting is very reminiscent of Turner Field on cloudy days during the late 90s when the Atlanta Braves were running the National League East. As this one fouled off to stay alive in the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Seriously, go look up the pictures on Getty Images. This field, everything right down to it, other than the fact that this is turf. It looks like the grass at Turner Field. Let's go with 1998. Look up something from 1998. That hit something in the parking lot. I'm not sure what.
3 cars.
That one misses up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count now. On the Battlefield Military Museum out-of-town scoreboard, one other game going in the South Penn League. They did get that game off in Cashtown after all. The Cashtown Pirates beating Brushtown 3-0, with Brushtown batting in the top of the 4th. Shriver will step out for a moment. Brushtown had 2 guys on in the 4th inning. They had a little bit of a rally going as they tried to climb back into that one. We'll let you know how that turned out. Jumps at that one and fouls it off. We'll see if this one takes 3 cars with it as well. Nope. Hey, we're not cheering for that, but if it does happen, we got a report on it. Shriver the DH here for Frederick. The end man in the order, and Freeman with the kick in the toss. This one lashed to left field. That one's down for a hit. And for the second consecutive inning, the Flying Dogs have the leadoff man on. See if they can cash it in this time. For Shriver, that was his 10th hit of the season. And that turns things over for Nathan Kessler. 3 hits for the Flying Dogs. They've all come in the first 2 batters of an inning. So every inning they've been putting traffic on against Freeman. It may be 4-0, but it hasn't been an easy time for him out there. Slide step, and this one is driven to center field. Matthias sizing it up. He's got it. No tag from the runner at first, and he'll throw that into the cutoff man. 1 pitch, 1 out. As the Braves are going to toss it back to their pitcher Freeman here and let him get back to work. Felt a little sprinkles here. Or felt a couple of sprinkles here just a few seconds ago. We're about at the hour mark in this ball game. Around 7 o'clock was the time when the radar was showing big systems moving in this area. Cloud cover looks like it could zoom right over us, though, at a moment's notice. Is that one called a strike? That one, I think, was a ball to Dougie Sims. Hit to third. It gets through the third baseman. Shortstop Talbert's going to field it and eat it. Has no play, but he'll keep Shriver there at second, and Dougie Sims with a base hit. Hit that one with authority into the hole, and Zaflarski, all he could do was catch some dirt as he tried to lay out for that one. Things are a-moving here for Frederick in the bottom of the 3rd. With the rain starting to fall, I got to tell you, we got to get through at least 5 for this to be an official ball game. If it doesn't, it'll be suspended at the point where the stoppage occurred. Kevin Copas now takes the ball down low. Copas had a foul pop down the left field line that was caught by the third baseman Zaflarski his last time up. And we had that one for you right in front of our camera location. That one misses down and away. Well, it sounded like Talbert yelling out, yep, like he really liked that pitch, but shortstop for Hagerstown doesn't get the call there. On his left side infield counterpart for Frederick, Copas drills this one to left field. That's going to be caught. What a play out there. And throwing it in quickly is Caden Smith. Stuck with it. Had to react lightning quick and then shot the glove up there to pull it out of the air. And a big second out for Wyatt Freeman as the rain's starting to intensify here now. Still just a little bit of a sprinkle, but members of my crew over here scrambling for the umbrellas. We thank you for that. My father over here helping me out. Hey, pull one up for yourself too. You gotta make sure you stay dry over there. This one popped up down the first base line. Giving chase is Bailey. He's got room. He's gonna haul it in, and Wyatt Freeman wriggles off the hook. here in the bottom of the third. He'll sprint to the dugout as the Hagerstown Braves need to get a couple more innings in here for this to be an official ball game. They lead at 4-0. Back to rain-drenched Mount St. Mary's in a moment.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is that Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Back to the ballpark here for the top of the fourth inning. We're getting underway quickly here as these teams trying to rush this one along. Nobody wants to have a suspended game situation. As Chance Phillips going to lead things off for Hagerstown here in the fourth. 1 ball and 1 strike now, the count to him. Update from Cashtown on the Battlefield Military Museum out-of-town scoreboard. Wes Coolball induced a double play grounder to get Cashtown out of the mess they were in the fourth. Pirates now bat in the bottom half with a 3-0 lead still intact. Kopas fields it and throws across to first for the out, 5-3 on the putout, and our Zoom feature has decided it wants to give us as much difficulty as possible here in the fourth inning. There might be something on the screen. Oh, good. So Phillips, the first out of the inning here now, as Bergwall turns in a good performance there. This one is sent airborne by the number 8 hitter. Excuse me, that's the number 9 hitter, Saflarski. I wonder if his teammates call him Sticks. Wearing the number 11. 0-1 the count. This one dips down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, told there's viewership from all across the South Penn League tuning in here on this rainy Thursday night. Foul tip at the plate. That one caught a piece of Bennett. And he looks like he's not having a great time back there. And the umpire will walk the new ball out to the pitcher, Bergwall, and give Bennett a chance to stretch things out. And Cashtown Pirates leading the league right now 16-0, the only undefeated team left. Littlestown Dodgers are 14-4 in second place. They're 3 games back. And then it's these Hagerstown Braves at 9-4. They're 5.5 games back. As that one misses. And the count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hagerstown's been in a little bit of a rut lately. They are 3-4 in their last 7 games. As this one misses down low and the count runs full. During their time in the South Penn League, it's been 6 years now. I believe this is the 6th year for the Braves. It's been since 2020. They haven't had many longer stretches where they've had a losing record. As this one misses down low, ball 4 to Saflarski, and he works a walk here. As the Braves looking to get things going once again. Back to the top of the order, and it's Ryan Talbert standing in there now. Leaning back like he does, his very unusual batting stance. Hits this one hard to short. Actually, back to the mound, and it's thrown into center field. Getting up and doing a complete 180 is the runner, Saflarski, trying to figure out where that ball was. It didn't kick far enough away for him to advance, and it'll be a throwing error on Bergwall. I think that was hit back to the pitcher. It happened so quickly. I was looking for it in the middle infield. Bergwall throwing back up the front side of the mound, and that's always a difficult proposition for pitchers. Remember Jason Grimsley doing that once for the Orioles in a game at Camden Yards against the Atlanta Braves. Orioles led the game at 7-0. And the Orioles music guy got a little cocky. And let's just say that didn't age well for him as the Braves came back to win that game 8-7. Thanks in large part to that throwing error by Jason Grimsley. Here's the kick from Bergwall. That one misses down low to Justin Lewis. Lewis has been on twice. Single and a run scored. Walken was stranded at third his last time up. As the rain, nothing more than just a nuisance for the players at this point in time. Misses down low. 2-0 the count. Lewis is now hitting .333 on the season, 7 for 21 with his earlier single. Part of all the championship teams here for Hagerstown. That one misses low, 3 balls and no strikes, and the Braves in danger of loading the bases here. 1 out as Bergwall got Phillips to start the inning off. Ball 4. Lewis showing courtesy to the home plate umpire as he doesn't head down to first right away. Then he gets the confirmation and ditches the bat in the gear. And boy, he wears some armor up there to the plate, and it's a good thing, too, because he gets hit a lot. Base is now packed with Braves. And wouldn't you know it, it's that man again, Adam Mathias. 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs in the ball game. And he gets a chance to put up a real fancy number in the RBI column here today. Not sure what the South Penn team record is for Hagerstown over the last 6 years for RBIs in a game, but I would think 7 would certainly set the new record if it happens. That one called a strike to Mathias. Mathias a ringing double over the center fielder's head back in the first inning to bring home 2. And then a single to the left center gap to bring home another one in the second inning. And he is the early runaway freight train for player of the game. Hard hit back through the box. Gets past the second baseman. 1 run will score. Here comes Talbert. The throw to the plate is late and up the line. And Talbert in there. And it's a 5 RBI day for Adam Mathias. What an evening he's having here at Mount St. Mary's. And he's saying to the Mount, you guys probably should have offered me a scholarship. 6 on the board now here for Hagerstown. There is a run rule here in the South Penn League, so if the Braves are able to get up by 10 at the completion of 5 innings, the game would end early. Though I think with the rain and the dwindling light here and the gray clouds in the sky, we're probably looking at getting about 5 innings done here tonight. The meeting on the mound disperses and Bergwall will resume the position. Cam Bailey pops this one up. That's out of play. Cuts through the trees in foul territory. No balls and 1 strike. For Mathias, a 5 RBI day. I know he's had some other big RBI performances for the Hagerstown Braves. We'll have to check with them in the dugout. They might not even know. The Game Changer app will be able to tell us, at least for the last 3 years. That ball went into the trees, and they're searching for it over here. The DH Shriver looking for it as the 0-1 pitch comes into Cam Bailey, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike now. Well, this game today has been the sweet elixir that the Hagerstown Braves offense has needed. As we said, 3-4 over their last 7 games. They're swinging away against one of their toughest competitors in the South Penn League, the Frederick Flying Dogs, who are desperate for wins every time out here today as they look to stay head above water in the race for the 8th spot, the final playoff spot in the South Penn League. Frederick comes in 6-10-1. Yes, they had a tie with New Oxford, 3-3, a 6-inning affair, ended due to darkness. This pitch misses up and away to Bailey as that one popped out of the hand. Justin Lewis at second, Adam Mathias at first, 1 down here in the Hagerstown 4th. Rain starting to dissipate a little bit, and the sun poking out from behind these clouds. At least it's trying to. Bailey drills this one to left center. That one's going. It is going to be run down by Dougie Sims. Oh, no, it gets away. It gets down. That's going to be extra bases. 1 Hagerstown Braves. As Sims on the case, thought he had it lined up and it just out of his reach. And another run scores. It's Hagerstown 7, Frederick nothing. And we apologize, our Zoom feature decided not to work once again, so we were unable to really do much other than show you what was going on in the outfield there. This thing's really finicky tonight. Yeah, see, now it'll work. Showing you a handheld look at the runners at second and third. John Bergwall dealing with a situation. Ford hits this one in the air. That one's barely going to leave the infield. It's going to drop in there, but they're going to call it an infield fly roll as he let it fall on purpose. And now Lewis racing halfway down the line at third as no one picked that ball up. He said, "You're going to play games with me. I'm going to play games with you. Make you throw it in." And they do. So Lewis will hold up there. Not exactly sure what the purpose of letting the infield fly intentionally drop there on a non-force play is. Didn't really gain anything by it. They don't really have a chance for a double play there. And all it does is give Lewis a notion of maybe being able to run home. So Ford retired. Caden Smith now the batter. And lines this one to center. That's going to get down over the center fielder's head, rolling all the way to the wall. 1 run will score. Racing for the plate is Bailey. Racing for third. And in there safely is Caden Smith with a 2-run triple. And the Braves have blown this one open. Smith drives home 2 after the pop out by Ford. Before that, it was a 2-run double by Cam Bailey. Matthias had a 2-run single before that, and the Braves are a home run away from hitting for the cycle in this inning as a team. Batter now, Riley Jackson. He looks to add his first hit of the day as this one is slashed to the left side, into the outfield. Sims will retrieve it there, but another RBI hit as Jackson sends home Caden Smith, and the Braves lead it 10-0. This is the kind of breakout performance that the Braves have needed. The 2-time defending champions, some questioning whether or not they'll be the favorite going into the postseason this year, with Cashtown running off 16 in a row to start the season. But the Braves, with performances like this, showing, hey, we're still here. And we're still very loud on offense. First pitch swinging again and hitting this one down the third baseline. Here's the long throw across. They've got him. Nice play by Kevin Kopas to retire Chance Phillips. That'll end the inning, but Hagerstown strikes for 6. They lead it 10-0 here on the show. We're halfway home. Back in a moment with the bottom of the 4th. Wyatt Freeman was sitting on the bench there for a long time as he was watching his Hagerstown Braves put up some runs. Got some housekeeping to go through here on the scoreboard. Has an airplane flying along overhead. Kurt Moore ready to start things off for the Dogs in the bottom of the fourth. This one popped up to center field. Matthias with the call. He's got it. And one pitch, one out here in the fourth. So for Hagerstown, a couple of those plays that happened in the top of the fourth inning were ruled errors. Ryan Talbert's hit has been ruled an error on the third baseman. And Dougie Sims in left field ruled to have an error on Cam Bailey's two-run double, so that'll be a straight error all the way. Augie Bennett, the batter now, and he powers one into foul territory over the bleachers behind home plate. Got some bullpen activity down here for Hagerstown as Riley Jackson is either he's warming up or the fellow over there with him is warming up. This one misses inside, 1-1 strike. I sure hope it's Jackson because we don't have number 5 written down on the roster here. That means it'll be a season debut. This one lashed to left field, and Bennett has a single here for the Flying Dogs as they continue the trend of getting one of the first two batters on each inning. That's the 5th hit of the ball game for Frederick. As coming up to bat now, Matt DiGirolamo. That name's a mouthful. So misses down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Over the hour mark now here in this one, as the wind continuing to play tricks on the players and those around the field. Looks like it's the other fellow that's over there warming up with Jackson catching, so we'll try to catch a name on that for you as that one misses. 2 balls and no strikes to DiGirolamo. Swings and fouls this one off behind the home plate area. DiGirolamo 1 for 19 on the season now. Looking to get that batting average back to 100, and he will if he gets a hit here. Freeman looking to shut the door. There's a strike. 2 strikes now to DiGirolamo, the right fielder for Frederick. He wrapped out to the third baseman, Jarek Zavlarski, his first time up. Fouled off again. I'd like to give a shout out to longtime viewer Peggy Helser in the comment section. Glad you're tuning in here on the broadcast. Hagerstown with a commanding 10-0 lead as we play the middle innings. Freeman with the kick and the throw. Up high, good pitch to throw down to second on, but the lead was too great for Augie Bennett, and the catcher for Frederick has a stolen base. Always a little ironic when the catcher is able to get a stolen base against his opposite number. And that puts a man in scoring position here with just 1 down in the fourth. Frederick Flying Dogs offense is fantastic, so while 10 runs may feel like a steep task, it's not out of the realm of possibility they could put a few runs together and get back into this one. Check swing, takes it, it's ball 4, and now something's brewing as they've got 2 on here in the fourth. And that's how these kind of things tend to get started, with some walks and with some early inning base runners. Anthony Venable is the batter now. Squaring to bunt, and he pops this one foul. Giving chases the catcher for Hagerstown, Ethan Ford. That one clunks, I think, against one of those seats behind home plate. That went clean out of the ballpark. We'll get a look at the press box here in a moment, and we'll show you that they've got some equipment up there, radar gun reader, and everything set up. So they've got TrackMan installed at this ballpark, as that one misses 1 ball and 1 strike. The Mount St. Mary's baseball, they have all the data, all the angles on their baseball. Going for third is Bennett. Here's the throwdown. Bounces away, and Bennett's going to get up and head for home. Sliding and throwing is Zaflarski. In there safely is Bennett, and the Flying Dogs are on the board. Bennett with 2 stolen bases, and then an error over there at third base allows the run to come home and score, and Frederick on the board. Took them till the 4th inning, but they cash in on one of their numerous base runners here. And not usually the strategy you see from teams trailing by a bunch to run the bases aggressively, but it's working out for them here. That one misses down low. Anthony Venable grounded out to the pitcher Freeman his last time up. That put an end to the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss as he fans on the breaker, and Freeman with a punch out. Hasn't struck out a lot of guys today, but he's been getting a lot of weak contact in play and getting out of a lot of situations where there's runners on. He'll look to wriggle out of that other runner in scoring position. There is DiGirolamo is at second. Ryan Shriver the batter now. That one dips low and outside. Ethan Ford scooping it up. Usual catcher for Hagerstown is Cam Jackson. He's not here today. See Ford behind the plate. The kick and the toss from Freeman. That one misses down low, 2-0, and Shriver would love to get on any way he can here. Free pass looking awfully good for him here, as Kessler would be the next batter at the top of the order. Picture perfect strike from Freeman to climb back into the count. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Shriver 1 for 1 with a single in this ball game. Here's the kick from Freeman. Lashes this one to right field. Running it down is Jordani Anderson. Freshly put into the game, and he hauls that one down in the gap. Way to make your debut out there. Frederick gets on the board. We're through 4 here on Flea Flicker Media. It's Hagerstown up by 9 as we head to the all-important 5th inning. Back in a moment with some more live South Penn baseball. Don't touch that dial.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is that Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Top of the 5th inning here, and this is the inning we got to get in for this game to be official. New pitcher Frederick. That's number 22, Matt Hughes, making his. And he'll deal with for Hagerstown batting here, as it's ball 1. And ball 2. So this is a season debut here for somebody. Again, we only had written down the statistics for players that have appeared in a game for Hagerstown this year. This is a season debut for somebody here. I think this might be Helzer. The count up high, or the pitch up high. 2 balls and no strikes now the count. Swing and a miss. That's 2 balls and 1 strike. It is Logan Helzer batting here. So he's heading the count 3 balls and 1 strike now. As this one misses up high, and he'll take ball 4. So good job by Helzer working a 5-pitch walk. And he'll be a leadoff base runner here for the Braves as they look to get that run right back that they gave up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Really, honestly, they're looking to get through this 5th inning as quickly as possible, so they can get the 3 outs in the bottom half and ensure that this game is official. So Hughes on the hill, 4 appearances for him this year, 2 starts, 2 relief appearances as this one hit to left. That one's going to get down foul as Sims gives it a look. And our apologies, we had a hit on the scoreboard for Nathan Kessler that actually belonged to Dougie Sims back in the 3rd inning. We had it on video for you, and we showed it to you, but then we forgot the next time around. So this one misses up high. Hughes has worked 11 innings on the season. Stretch man for the Flying Dogs, and he's the first available arm out of the bullpen here today. That one misses armpit high. And moving ahead in the count here now is Talbert. There's the kick and the toss. This one misses outside. So we'll see where Helzer goes in defensively. I think he might have been the one that caught that fly ball at the end of the 4th inning, as Talbert will pitch his bat away, takes a 4-pitch walk, and the Braves at it once again here. As Helzer moving up to second base. Logan Helzer had the big home run in the clinching game of the South Penn League at Championship Series last year, up at Littlestown. 6-0 Braves victory. Got one of 2 home runs for the Braves in that game, and now it's Justin Lewis. Swinging away. Popped up around the dugout. This one is going to come down out of play. We're here live at the Mount, bringing you the Fans' Choice game. This is the one you, the fans, voted on, and we're bringing it to you on Flea Flicker Media. And what you've seen today is a breakout eruption from the Hagerstown Braves offense against a Frederick Flying Dogs team that beat them a week ago, 7 days ago, a 6-1 victory for Frederick in the opener of the season series between these 2 teams. Lewis pops this one up, and this one may not reach the seats. Actually, I would be correct in saying that it didn't reach the seats. It reached the hill. No balls and 2 strikes now to Lewis. If this were, say, a 4 or 5 run game, we'd probably see Lewis bunting here. Very adept at that, can handle the bat. But he'll try to improve on his .333 batting average on the season here. The 0-2 offering, that one misses down low, and a nice job there by Augie Bennett to scoop that one up. Yeah, we'll take note of the Hagerstown defense when they take the field in the bottom of the 5th and see where Helzer goes. There's got to be a new 3rd baseman as well, since Flarski is out of the game. Lewis drives this one to left. Sims chasing it all the way back to the wall. It's going to hit and bounce. Helzer chugging for home. Here he comes. He'll be in there as the throw goes up the first baseline, and the Braves re-extend the lead back to 10. As an RBI double from Justin Lewis. And Sims turned and fully sprinted back towards the wall on that one. You knew it was going to be trouble right away when that happened. Usually you see a fielder glide back towards it when they've got a beat on it, but he was pulling out all the stops. And once again, it's Adam Mathias in an RBI situation again. 3 for 3. 5 runs batted in for him here today. This pitch is grounded down the first base line as he spun out of there on that one. As Hughes throwing up something softer there, and it worked very, very effective to get ahead in the count on Matthias here. The 5 runs batted in for Matthias on the day. Well, I had a game note on that, but I think it blew away. That one called a strike up around the letters, and the count no balls and 2 strikes. 2-run double in the first inning that clanged off the center field wall, an RBI ground ball single back up the middle, and a 2-run single that went past second base. As Matthias drives this one back up the middle, that's going to score at least 1. Lewis chugging around third, he'll score easily, and it's a 7 RBI day for Matthias. And that very may well be the single-player, single-game high in the league this season. 7 runs batted in. He's knocked in more than half of the runs for his team today. And it's now 13-1. 4 for 4 for Matthias today, too. And, well, you'll just have to stick around for the conclusion of this one to see if he'll be named the player of this game. Still a lot of time left in this one for a lot of things to happen. Matthias the lead from first. Hughes the kick, the delivery. Cam Bailey takes ball 1. Bailey is 0 for 3. He was ruled to have reached on that error by the left fielder Sims his last time up. Lines this one back up the middle. They're going to have a chance for a double play. Instead of taking it to the bag, he tags the runner. Throw on to first. He's safe on the back end of it. So that is the first out of the inning, I do believe. As Ethan Ford now to the plate. Ford looking to get his first hit of the day as well. He's reached twice on errors in this one. This one skied foul, is heading our direction, and I don't know where it is, and that's scary. Well, it landed somewhere. I heard it. This one misses down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. So this inning started with a walk to Helzer. And Talbert reached. Then Lewis with a 2-run double, and this one off the glove of Kopas to the shortstop. They're going to have a play at second. 5-6-4 on the putout, and a hard slide there at second by Bailey. And he is out number 2 in the inning. As Kopas had that go in and out of the glove, it bounced fortuitously right to the shortstop. So 2 away now, and this one is driven up the middle. Diving attempt by the second baseman, but that one's through. And another hit here for the Braves. I believe that's the 4th hit of the inning here as Caden Smith drives one through there. There's a ball. Got a new hitter here for Hagerstown. That's Garrett Decker standing in there. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Is Decker batting for Riley Jackson in the 7th spot. The designated hitter Jackson checks out of the game with an 0 for 3 for him. That one inside almost hit him, and the count now 3 balls and no strikes to Decker. Decker 2 for 7 on the season, a double and a run batted in. Good for a .286 batting average coming off the bench here for Hagerstown. And that one misses down low, and the bases will be loaded. 3 in the inning. And Jordani Anderson will bat. So that was Jordani Anderson out in right field. My sneaking suspicion the last time. Must be Helzer at third base now for the Braves, as Anderson pops this one foul. Anderson made the last out of the 4th inning for Hagerstown, and he's the last spot in the order to bat in this inning for the Braves as they've batted around. Sends this one skyward, right fielder calling out for it. He'll haul it in, and that'll bring an end to the inning, but 3 more score for Hagerstown. They now lead it 13-1, and they need 3 more outs to make this an official ball game here from Mount St. Mary's. Back on Flea Flicker Media with the bottom half of the 5th inning in a moment.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
Back here for the bottom of the 5th, we'll take a look at some defensive changes here for Hagerstown, as it is Logan Helzer at 3rd base for the Braves. And over in right field, it's Jordani Anderson, and there's a couple other moves here that have been made as well. Out in left field, that's Connor Rom. Never sure exactly how to pronounce that name. He's out in left field. And on the hill, we have number 6 for the Braves, Henry Lewis, the closer. He'll come in here to get some work as he tries to keep anything too crazy from happening here. As Frederick comes back to the plate here now, it's the top of the order as Nathan Kessler leads things off. Kessler 0 for 2, line out and a fly out. That one a called strike. For Lewis on the season, he's appeared in 2 games, 4 innings pitched, both of them save opportunities, and he's converted both of them. Is that one called a strike? 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. In Lewis's 4 innings, no earned runs. He's struck out 8, given up 1 hit and 1 walk, as his whip is nice and tidy .5. As that one misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count to Kessler, who looks to get his first hit of the day. 13 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error for Hagerstown, as this one is driven to center. It's Matthias moving a couple of steps back and hauling that one in. And 1 away. I just remarked to my dad a couple of minutes ago before the inning started, probably have an hour of sunlight left here, so. But at the end of the 5th inning, if Frederick doesn't put at least 3 runs on the board here in the 5th inning, this ball game will be over. As Dougie Sims the batter, and he fouls this one off. Sims playing left field for the Braves today. Playing left field for the Flying Dogs today. He's got a couple of hits on his ledger, as this one misses down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the kick and the throw. That one misses down low, 2-1. Sims, a friend of the program. We're glad to be able to bring you his game here today. And thanks to him for sharing our link to the live vote for the game this week. This one misses down low, 3 balls and 1 strike. Anybody out there watching this one, if you got some friends that don't know about South Penn League baseball and you think they might enjoy it, share it with them. Let them know. 3 balls and 1 strike now the count. This one a called strike, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So third appearance of the year for Lewis as he winds up and throws. And this one misses. Sims sprinting out of the batter's box, and he's on with a 1-out walk. Well, Frederick needs a little bit more where that came from, but they've got things started here in the bottom of the 5th. Again, 10-run mercy rule in the South Penn League after 5, so Flying Dogs have to score 3 here in the 5th inning. Sending Kevin Kopas to the plate. Kopas 0 for 2 on the day with a pair of air outs. Foul pop out to third and a line drive out to right field. Sims heading for second. Here's the throw. There is no throw. Sims with a belly flop into the bag, and he'll get a stolen base. And he's always talking to me about how much he wants to rack up the stolen base totals, and there he's able to put a tick mark in that column. See if he has designs on going to third. Hard hit to left field. Coming up and throwing is the left fielder. Sims headed for the plate. Dives in, the ball fired to the backstop, and Sims in there with the second Frederick run of the game. Moving up to second on the throwing error is the batter Kopas, and he delivers an RBI. For Kopas, that is his 3rd run batted in of the season. Usually see him with a few more of those at this point in the year, but he is having a nice year, hitting well over 300. So it's 13-2, and now Kopas in scoring position. And that one misses head high to the cleanup hitter, John Blanco. Blanco is 0 for 2 on the day, and now the pitching coach is going to head out to the mound here and talk things over with Lewis. We've got somebody going down to the bullpen here for Hagerstown, as that is number 27, Gavin Watkins, spinning a ball down there. As Lewis has given up his first earned run of the season here today. You know what they say about bringing the closer in a non-save situation. So misses down low, 2 balls and no strikes. I guess what you say to him when you go out there is don't worry at all about that runner at second. If he scores, it's still a 10-run game. You got to get these next couple outs. Spun into foul territory off the bat of Blanco. The shortstop for Frederick had a lot of tough plays for him to make out in the field today, and he's done a really nice job. That 5-6-4 put out that we had in the top of the 5th inning, boy, that was something to see. This one misses down low, and the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Blanco came in hitting .500 on the season. He's now 14 for 30 with his 0 for 2 here today. Hit that one off in his own self at the plate. Hopping away from the batter's box. The count full now as Lewis looks for out number 2 here in the 5th. This is the meat of the Frederick order here. And I'll tell you what, over the last 2 years, they've had some of the most exciting games in the South Penn League because they're never out of it. And they're always threatening to score double-digit runs. Kopas with the lead. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. Not sure about that one as Blanco as he was headed to first base, but Lewis will get his 9th punch out of the season. Came in striking out 14 guys per 7 innings was his average. Has to be among the league leaders. Kurt Moore now the batter. Picking on that first offering and fouling it off. Moore has one of the 7 Frederick hits here today. It was a double off the top of the wall out in left field. That one misses down low and away. It was near that sign denoting the 2008 NCAA tournament appearance for the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers. As there you see Watkins warming up in the bullpen. Lewis with the pitch. Moore takes down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. And I think if you're Hagerstown, you're hoping you don't have to bring Watkins in, but if you're Watkins, you probably want to get into the game because pitching is fun. Swing and a miss by Moore. He pulled the string on that one, and then Hagerstown now 1 strike away from finishing this one off here in the 5th inning. Moore looking to keep it alive. Hagerstown with the 13-2 lead. Here's the pitch from Lewis. Bounces down low and the count runs full. And if Moore reaches, that'll put the game-extending run on base. And that would bring up Augie Bennett, who has a hit today for Frederick. Frederick with 1 in the inning. They need 2 more. Lewis with the kick and the toss. Strike 3 called, and that'll do it. There's the ball game. The Hagerstown Braves win it 13-2 in 5 innings. Moving to 10-4 on the season, and this was a much-needed breakout performance for the Braves, who had struggled through the last couple of weeks of the South Penn League season. Teams will go through the handshake line here. Victorious Braves and the Frederick Flying Dogs falling to 6-11-1. So, Frederick will fall into a virtual tie for the final playoff spot with Biglerville and Shippensburg. Shippensburg has played far less games, only 7 games for them at this point. And we're going to take a commercial break here shortly, and we'll be back with the recap of this one, some final statistics, and a look around the league. Don't touch that dial. Back on Flea Flicker Media to wrap this one up in a moment.
Here at Flea Flicker Media, we so very obviously love sports. It's my goal to sprinkle a little bit of that love back into the community, one live sporting event at a time.
Back up the middle. We might have a play at the plate as Keith is throwing home. Safe is Zach Ketterman, and the game is tied.
If you'd like to be featured on Flea Flicker Media, contact me at our Facebook page, Flea Flicker Media, or at the George Marinos Facebook page.
All right, here with Adam Mathias of the Hagerstown Braves. You batted in 7 runs today for your team. First of all, this was it seemed like a much-needed offensive breakout for you guys as you had struggled to a 3-7 record through the last 7 games. What does this mean to the team to be able to come out here and have an offensive performance like this after the last couple of weeks?
It means a lot. We had a lot of negative energy in games before, and we just couldn't put anything together on the offensive side. So to come out here and get this going like this is big.
Mm-hmm. You said you're not sure whether or not you've had this many RBIs before in a Game 7. Is there any game you can think of in the past that would come close to this?
No, not any that I can think of. It's pretty impressive to put up 7 RBIs.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, there's professional guys that don't go a whole career without doing that. So, what is more exciting to you, the 4 hits, the 4 for 4, or the 7 RBIs?
I'll take the 7 RBIs because it also helps out the team.
Mm-hmm. What do you have to say about the guys in front of you, Talbert and Lewis, getting on pretty much every time for you there?
It's big, having people on base. It helps you have a better approach at the plate and just to do your job.
Mm-hmm. Now, this was a team that you guys had lost to last week, so obviously a good feeling to even up the season series. What does this feel like for the team to be able to get a nice win against a team that you had dropped the game to a week ago?
it's good, you know. Coming out, losing a game against the team, it's big to come back and just get the win. Hopefully we can carry the momentum throughout the season.
Pretty nice ballpark to play at here, huh? Would you say this is one of the best in the South Penn League here?
It's a nice park.
Yep. So fortunately the weather held off. It was a pretty rough day, a couple of postponements around the South Penn League. Did you guys at any point were you thinking that there may be a postponement or a situation for this one, or are you guys pretty much knowing that this one was going to play all the way along?
It was a little skeptical because the weather's been bad throughout the past weeks, but I'm glad we got out here and got it through.
All right, hey, thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Yep. That's Adam Mathias of the Hagerstown Braves. He drove in at 7 runs here today. Hagerstown winning it 13-2. We'll be back on Flea Flicker Media with a post-game wrap-up in a moment. Having some issues with our commercial machine, so we'll come right back here to the ballpark. The final score of this one today, the Hagerstown Braves 13 and the Frederick Flying Dogs 2. For Hagerstown, 13 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors. For Frederick, they put up 2 runs on 7 hits and commit 3 errors in this one. The win goes to Wyatt Freeman, and for Freeman, that makes him 2-1 on the season. And the loss goes to Frederick's starting pitcher, Bergwall. He's 1-1 on the year. No save necessary in this one. Time of game, just over an hour and 41 minutes. As Adam Mathias, the headliner today, with 4 for 4 day and 7 runs batted in, and you just heard from him down on the field. We'll take you through the scoring summary for this one. If it didn't blow away, here it is. Hagerstown got after it right away in the very first inning as Ryan Talbert reached on a single to start things. Justin Lewis with a bunt single. Then Mathias ripped a 2-run double off the wall in center field. It bounced and rolled up against the wall, but still, that was an impressive shot. Cam Bailey popped out. Ethan Ford reached on an error, and another run came home to score for the Braves as it was Mathias making it 3-0. In the second inning, the Braves scored again. Adam Mathias with an RBI single to bring home Talbert to make it 4-0. Then we flash forward to the third inning. 6 more runs came home to score for the Braves. It was Mathias with a 2-run single to make it 6-0. Then a misplay in center. Dougie Sims hustled over all the way and almost got to that ball. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it got down on the track. And a little bit of a harsh scoring for an error there, but another 2 runs scored on that play to make it 8-0. And then Caden Smith with a 2-run triple. Frederick scored in the bottom half of the 4th as coming home to score was Augie Bennett, who singled, stole second, stole third, and then raced for home on an errant throw to third that barely kicked away from the third baseman and slid in for the first run of the game for Frederick. In the top of the 5th, Hagerstown put a few more runs on the board, 3 more, and an RBI double by Justin Lewis that one bounced off the wall in left center field, and then Adam Mathias with his 4th hit of the day and 2-run single to give him 7 RBIs. That made it 13-1. In the bottom of the 5th, Frederick got to Hagerstown closer Henry Lewis for 1 run as Dougie Sims hit a single, and he came around to score later on a hit by Kevin Kopas after stealing second base. That made it 13-2. And that's where the final score came to rest as the Braves win it going away. Hagerstown goes to 10-4 on the season. They're a half game closer to catching Littlestown now in third place, a game and a half behind the Dodgers. Cashtown was beating Brushtown 3-0 at last check, so doesn't look like anybody's going to gain ground on the Pirates. That one was 6-0 last check, actually. They put a few more runs on the board. For Frederick, they're 6-11-1, and they fall into a virtual tie for the final playoff spot with the Biglerville Black Sox and the Shippensburg Stars, and that figures to be an epic battle for the final playoff spot that's going to rage all throughout these next couple weeks of the summer. So, we're glad that you tuned in here for the Fans' Choice Game of the Week. The Hagerstown Braves are victorious 13-2 from Mount St. Mary's. This is George Marinos signing off. Have a good evening, everybody.
Resumption of the game at another time. Boy, that would be pure chaos. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the Cashtown Pirates win it. The Cashtown Pirates win it. They're back on top of the hill. 1 year away from the championship, and it's Anthony Lippy pitching them back to the reign of champions, and that one has to feel the sweetest of the 6 they've won. As Lippy heaved his glove sky high, the Pirates with a celebration unlike any I've seen from them for any of their championships. Akin to what Hagerstown did when they finally beat Cashtown last year. No balls and 2 strikes, the count holds steady. We're just getting ready for some preparations here to take a look at the on-field celebration. Here's the kick, the pitch, strike 3, and the Hagerstown Braves have done it. The Hagerstown Braves are your 2021 South Penn League champions.
They are South Penn League 2021 champions.
There you see it, the final score from tonight's South Penn League Championship Series game number 4. The Hagerstown Braves putting up runs in each of the first 3 innings as they run away to victory in this one. And the Braves get to celebrate with the championship trophy here in 2021. We'll have post-game coverage here for you on the show as we continue into the night here. We'll have a word with the MVP of the series, the victorious manager for Hagerstown. We'll also try to get a word with Shippensburg manager Josh Petty before the evening is through. Hagerstown Braves, your 2021 South Penn League champions. For the first time ever, and the first time in 19 years, they're league champs. Wow.
scorekeeping part of tonight. The winning pitcher is John Carter. His first decision of the postseason, 1-0. The loss goes to Weldon. No save necessary as Grove came on in a 7-run game. Player of tonight's game was Nick Jacoby with his 2 RBI hits and work behind the plate. And we'll name the series MVP here in a few moments.
The 1-2. Ground ball. Going to the first base bag, and that's it. The Cashtown Pirates win the championship. They've done it. The Cashtown Pirates are champions here in 2020 in the South Penn League. Top. So here with Josh Topper, who pitched a 7-inning shutout here today. When did you know you were throwing a no-hitter? How soon did you realize that?
It was probably like the 5th inning, I think. I think when that error at first happened is probably when. But honestly, I wasn't really thinking about it. I just wanted to shut them out and win the game.
So what is it about pitching against Hagerstown here that has been successful for you? Because this is a really good team, and you've shut them down twice this season now.
I mean, honestly, a lot of them are college hitters, and they're just different hitters in South Penn, and I just really know how to approach them. They love hanging breaking balls, and with my arm the last few weeks I haven't been able to even throw breaking balls, but fastball changeup, you throw it up in the zone, they can't get their hands to it.
So tell me about this 5-hour drive you made up from North Carolina just to be here today. Did you make it last night? Did you make it this morning?
So last night was it 7:30, 8 o'clock, whenever, I mean, we're down 4-0 or 4-1 or something like that, and I was like, I don't know, like, what's going to happen? I was like, it didn't look good. I was like, okay, like, we had a good season, but, like, we came back in that 6th inning and won, and when I saw that, I was like, we already kind of talked about it. It was more of a joke that I would drive back or fly back or whatever was going to happen. But when they won, I was like, we're not losing that game. So I was like, I made arrangements, and I left at about 11 this morning. So I left like an hour. That put me here at about 4, but I left like an hour in case of traffic. So I got here at like 4:15, so I drove from like 11 to 4:15 today.
So are you going to make this a superstition now? Are you going to drive 5 hours before every start the rest of the year?
The funny part is, we actually talked about that in the dugout. We were like, maybe I should just drive around during the day for 5 hours before I come. But I mean, it was tiring. I mean, it's a 5-hour drive, but you know, chugged the South Penn champions, and chugged a little energy drink here, and we were good to go. And I'm driving back right after this. So.
Hold that trophy up a little bit. Let's get a look at that.
4P.
Yep. So you've been a part of all 4 of these teams now?
Yeah. The first year I got here was the first like 4P. So every year I played so far we've won.
And how does this one feel different than the other 4?
Well, I kind of was checked out in all honesty because I knew I wasn't going to be here. And then just like being able to actually, because last year I think I threw the last game against Hanover, but it was like we were up 2-0. It was like the series, so it was like we were up 2-0, and we scored a bunch. Like it wasn't a tight game like I thought this would be, and just the situation, I guess. And I don't know. I was around this summer, obviously with COVID. There really wasn't anything to do, so I played in a lot more games than I normally have.
All right, thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
you.